Today I'm going to be talking to you about my recent favourite products. I haven't done a favourites video in a very long time, and I don't think I can manage to do any more monthly favourites. At least I cannot promise you to do monthly favourites every month. I just have an unpredictable life at the moment with a baby, and I can't always find time to film these things, but I can promise to come back regularly and tell you about the products that I've been loving in a sort of like roundup of the last few months. So today I have a few products that I have used consistently for the last few months, and I would like to share them with you. If I sound a bit sniffly, it's because I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so that's the reason. Starting with skincare, I have 3 products that I've used so much and I've been so impressed by. The first one is Hydraluron, which is something that I've talked about a lot here on my channel and also on my blog. It's basically just a serum that will hydrate your skin very well. It works really well if you've got dry skin like I have, and this helps to make my skin not so tight and dry and flaky. And this time of the year I usually get quite a lot of flakiness on my skin, and this is the only thing that works to get rid of that. And I have to use this consistently for at least a week to see good lasting results, but it does work and I love it. I don't love the price tag because there's not much product in it, and if you use it every day like I do, morning and evening, or whenever I remember during the day, it goes quite quickly. I think this is my 3rd or 4th tube and it's not too cheap. Then other 2 skincare bits that have impressed me so much are these 2 products by La Roche-Posay. One is the Pigmentclar Serum, the other one is the Pigmentclar Daily Moisturiser. And I have hyperpigmentation, which means that my skin has some patches of darkness, and especially under my eyes. I've got some on my cheeks and some around my mouth. And this here is brilliant for that. If you've got pigmentation, you will want to try these. I know that a lot of people who are olive skin like me, or Indian, or maybe sort of like Asian skin colours, tend to get a lot of pigmentation on their skin, and I get lots of emails from you guys asking me what I use to help with my pigmentation. I used to use the Eucerin Even Brighter Day Cream and Night Cream, but I ran out of that and I didn't repurchase it. I loved it, absolutely loved it, and it really worked, but I found something that works even better, and I am in love with this. I usually apply the serum and then the moisturiser in the morning or whenever I think I'm going to be putting makeup on, but even if I don't put makeup on, I kind of try, I don't always, but I try to remember to always put this on at least once a day, and it just helps to brighten up my skin so much and makes the appearance of my pigmentation not as obvious. It's not gone completely, but it's just not as dark. I find that my pigmentation shows up a lot more in the winter months because my skin goes a bit lighter, so the darker patches look darker, and this has been amazing. I love these 2 products, and to be honest with you, completely honest, my skincare routine has gone downhill since having a baby because I just don't have the time or the energy. My mum always says the time is a matter of priority, and in this case skincare is not my priority when I'm only getting 2 hours sleep at night. So if I go to bed, I'm not going to be thinking about spending 15-20 minutes doing skincare routine. So these 2 have kind of saved my skin from being skin careless. A few of you have asked what I've been using on my skin after pregnancy because you think my skin looks nice. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's all I've been using. For base products, I have 3 to show you. The first one is the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hours Matte Foundation, and I have done a video here on my YouTube, which I'll link down below, showing you how this foundation applies, how it lasts throughout the day, and I just love it. My shade is number 13 Rose Beige, which can be a little bit too pink for me, but I find that if I set it with a powder that has more of my skin tone, it looks perfect and I don't have to worry about it not matching my neck or matching my complexion. I am wearing it today. and it just gives me such a flawless finish. I use a very small amount of product, just like a little pea-size amount for the whole of my face, and I don't need any more than that. The finish is beautiful. It's matte, but it's quite luminous. It's not completely flat. The foundation is not cakey, but I do find that with my dry skin I have to moisturize it really well, and I use the moisturizers that I told you about. Otherwise, if I don't, it will cling to sort of like the areas where I have dry patches around my nose and between my eyebrows. Lasts beautifully throughout the day. It doesn't crease. It's just a great budget foundation, and I never thought that I would use a budget foundation more than a high-end foundation. I'm still a big fan of my Giorgio Armani Lumina Silk foundation, and this here I'd say is a very, very good dupe for the Giorgio Armani Lumina Silk. The only thing that I don't like is the shade range, and that's something that it will always be a problem with high street drugstore foundations, because I suppose with premium high-end foundations you're paying for just the extras, you know, the extra shades, the extra this, the extra that. But yeah, if you can find a shade that suits your skin tone, then I highly recommend this. Two more base products, concealers. The first one is the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Concealer in the shade Sand number 5. And I also have a video showing you how this applies, and it's a whole sort of Bobbi Brown tutorial kind of thing, and it has saved me from looking like I don't sleep, which I actually don't, but this fakes 8 hours sleep like nothing else, and I am wearing it today. Pretty much everything that I'm talking about I'm wearing today. It's just beautiful. The consistency is lovely and smooth, but it sets nicely under the eyes. I find that after a long day it does crease under the eyes, but if I set it with a powder or if I keep an eye on it, I'll just do a little, you know, touch up with my fingers like that and it will be fine. But this here is just amazing. It's one of my favorite all-time concealers now, and I use this under my eyes. I also use it on blemishes, but I prefer it under my eyes. Something else for under the eyes that I like is the MAC Prep and Prime Highlighter in Light Boost. Now this here was a product that I was obsessed with towards the end of last year when I was pregnant, and I just couldn't get enough of it. I was using it so much. Every time I do my makeup I'd put this on and just look really lovely and highlighted. But since having baby James, I'd misplaced most of my makeup, and I'd just been living out of like this little makeup bag, and that's like where I keep everything that I have worn on my face since James was born. So like most of my makeup has been somewhere in the house and I don't know where, including this, and I've been trying to find this for a really long time because I miss it, and I think it adds such a great difference to the makeup and the face, you know, a lot of brightness under the eyes. It gives you a really highlighted look on your face, really awake and open, and I found it recently and I started reusing it and I just fell back in love with it. It makes a huge difference if you've got dark circles and you like sort of that highlighted look under the eyes, but not as much as Kim Kardashian sometimes, just more discreet, and it just looks flawless. I've got it on today and I think my under eyes look really well covered because I've got these two together and I think they work really well together and they hide my dark circles, and believe me, my dark circles are absolutely terrible at the moment. So yeah, these concealers are great. For powders, I have two powders that I've been using. One is the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural in medium dark, and this is what I use when I want to make any foundation that I have that doesn't match my skin look like it matches, because it's a powder that is one shade darker than my skin tone, so it works well to sort of contrast, and not contrast was the word, to counteract with a lighter foundation or a pink tone foundation. And I've had this powder for years and years and years, and it's just a really good powder. It adds a little bit more coverage as well, so if your foundation is quite sheer, you can put this on top and you'll have that extra coverage. But yeah, just a really good powder. I've talked about it loads, so I won't be boring you with the details. Another one is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and I just really like the fact that there are three really great powders, different shades, do different things, and it's great for on the go, great for traveling, because you've got three things here. You've got a highlighter kind of shade in the middle, a bronzer kind of shade here, and a powder, neutral powder shade here. My favorite one is the setting powder, which is this nude one here at the end. Very expensive, so not one for the budget friendly people, but worth the money, I think. For cheeks, I've used nothing than MAC Peachykeen Blush, which is this gorgeous corally pink shade with shimmer, and it doubles as a highlighter as well. And this is what I've got on today, and I just love it. I like how it gives me like a very, not natural because it's got shimmer in it, but it's like a young glow, a fresh glow, and I really like the way that that looks. It doesn't look over the top. And for contour and bronzing, the only reason why I've been using this one is because it's been in my makeup bag and I can't be bothered to find something else. It's the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Cream. So it's a cream blusher and a cream bronzer, and I don't use the blusher as much, but I use the bronzer a lot, and I like it because it makes contouring and bronzing look natural. After all, I am a mummy, and whenever I go places, it's really informal, casual places, so I want to look as natural as possible. Most of the times I don't wear any makeup because it's either I get James ready or I get myself ready, and I always choose to get him ready looking cute and let me look like a mess. I would like to find another bronzer though, because this is not the most practical, because it's a bit more messy than just a general powder bronzer, but it's good, it's budget friendly, and I highly recommend it. For eyeshadow palettes, I have not had anything in my makeup bag other than this palette from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Vintage Vamp palette, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it's not the best. You can see it's already broken. It's fallen. It's not the best palette that I've ever tried, and when I got this was about December last year. I didn't really like it, and I put it in the back of a drawer because I thought that's such a shame. I really wanted to like it. I've seen so many people like Charlotte Tilbury palettes, and I just didn't like it because I bought it really for this shimmery golden shade here at the top, and it didn't really impress me that much, so I was a bit disappointed and I put it away. But then a few months later, it sort of made its way back into my makeup bag. I don't know how. I think I may have picked it up by mistake. And I found a way to make it work for me, and this is what I've got on today on my eyes, and yeah, I really like it. It's not as long lasting as some of my other eyeshadow makeup palettes. What's wrong with my brain? But the colours are lovely and they go well together, and that's what my favourite thing is, because you know, you can see a theme here. I really don't have time to be thinking about which eyeshadows go with what, and I know that everything here goes well together, and I usually just put this here on my crease, just like on the outer edge, this here on the outside corner and crease, and this sort of like pinky shimmery one here to highlight the brow bone and sort of the inner half of the eye, and I skip this one altogether because it's more glittery than pigmented. A lot of shimmer comes out and drops down from it, but you don't get the true pigmentation of it very much. So I just prefer to stick to these three shades, and it works. It looks really nice. It's great for autumn because it's like these lovely earthy toned shades. I know that this is a recent favourites product, and I wouldn't say that this is worth the money, but I think the colours in it are beautiful, and if you can find a palette that has these shades for autumn and winter, then I think you're onto a winner there. We're getting towards the end now, so moving on to lips. I've got a few favourite lip products here. The first one is the Bobbi Brown, what's it called, Art Stick in the shade Dusty Pink, and I love this. It's just so easy to wear. You can make it more deeper coloured, or you can make it more natural on your lips, and it's just quick and easy to just draw it on your lips, and I find it's a lovely shade on my skin tone, and this is what it looks like. It's very pigmented, quite long lasting on the skin. You can make it really, really vibrant, but I usually just wear it dabbed on the lips or mixed with a more nude lipstick. And the one that I usually mix with this is the, not this one, the Rimmel Kate Lasting Finish lipstick in number 3. And this is a very nude and quite like brownish tone. But I find that the two of them paired together make sort of like my perfect lip shade. So these two I've been wearing loads, and also the Soap and Glory Super Colour FABULIPSTICK in Super Nude. This is a more like a dusty rose nude compared to the Rimmel Cake one, but I still love it. This is it there, the Soap and Glory one underneath. Then the last one is this lip gloss by L'Oreal, Glam Shine Gloss Brilliance, in the shade Always Pink, number 102, and it's kind of like a glittery lip gloss. I'm not a big fan of lip gloss. I rarely wear lip gloss, but when I do, I reach for pinks and things like this one here, and I think it just looks really nice paired with all of these shades. You can see they're all very similar, so you can tell that I like this kind of shade. Today I have the Bobbi Brown one underneath, then I have the Rimmel Cake one on top, and the L'Oreal just dabbed in the center of my lips. So I think that's everything that I had to share with you, my recent favorite products. I have a bag here full of makeup brushes, but I feel like I'll be repeating myself because they're the same makeup brushes that I've featured on my tutorials and on my blog and on reviews and things like that. They're just like my Zoeva brushes and some of my MAC brushes and Japanese brushes. So if you want to see the brushes that I enjoy using, just go on my blog and type in makeup brushes and you'll find all the blog posts that I've written about my makeup brushes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye!